Father, the Son, and Mary Somuah. And God has been good to us. The program is Echoes of Grace on your super duper radio station, Holyhills Radio. Tonight we have a special guest, but before we go to him, we are going to talk a little bit on our motivation for the week. We are taking it from John chapter 3, verse 18. Mr. Isaac Pinto is the man in charge of our technical department today. Of course, also our CEO at Holyhills Radio. Mr. Chris Aduteria is the producer of this wonderful program, Echoes of Grace. Tell a friend to join us live. The Bible says in John chapter 3, verse 18. It says, he that believeth on him is not condemned. But he that believeth not is condemned already. Wow. Because he had not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. Brethren, this is a serious statement. I'm going to read again. He that believeth on him is not condemned. But he that believeth not is condemned already. Because he had not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. People of God, I want to remind you that the only reason why you are not condemned is that you have believed in Jesus. It's not of works, it's not of your kindness, it's nothing that has to do with you. The man that is going to hell is not going to hell because he's a bad person. The whole bad that he is that he has rejected the only Son of God. This evening, I want to remind you that your only hope is that you believe in Jesus. And when you believe in Jesus, he gives you a new heart. A heart that loves him. It's not a heart of perfection, but it's a heart that strives after perfection. And that heart that is striving after perfection is what is taking you to heaven. He says, he that have not believed in him is already condemned. So if you reject Jesus, you are already condemned. You are not going to be judged, but you're already judged because you have rejected the name of the only begotten Son of God. This evening, my prayer is that you find Jesus. Because once you put your trust in him, you are on your way to heaven. He will give you a new heart. He will give you a love for righteousness. He will give you the gift of righteousness. The gift of righteousness is a gift that God gives to people who have accepted Jesus. That gift makes you yearn for righteousness. It makes you yearn to do the right thing. Thank you very much for joining us live on your super duper radio station. And that is it for the motivation for the week. Tonight, I'm so privileged to have our former presiding elder at PIWC. As a matter of fact, the second presiding elder, PIWC Columbus, Ohio. And tonight we are going to talk about a host of issues. Paramount among them is the drug abuse. Because it's something that goes on. Sometimes we practice it without even being aware. You feel sick and you just take anything that you want to take because you think that, it's going to heal you. I will ask him about whether Christians are even supposed to take drugs in the first place. So we have a host of questions. Tonight, I'm privileged to have Elder Dr. Dan Toffey amongst us at Holyhills Radio. Elder, welcome.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you so much for taking time to come. Yeah, so we'll go right away into our discussion, and we have a lot of questions, so we will not even waste time. First of all, can you tell us about Elder Dr. Dan Toffey?
Thank you so much. Elder Somuah, prior to saying a little bit about me, let me seize this opportunity to thank you.
Amen.
I ask for God's blessings upon your life for
Amen.
what you've been doing at Holyhills Radio.
Amen.
And I also want to thank the CEO, Mr. Pinto, and the family for even giving this privilege to come and to be interviewed today.
Amen.
Dan Toffey, like you even did an introduction, I'm an elder of the Church of Pentecost. Originally from the Western region, I'm in Bismark. I was born at a small village. I don't even know if the name of the small village is on the map. It's Tikobo, at the Western region. As a matter of fact, Jomoro. We are under Jomoro. yeah, constituency. Currently, I'm hooked up or married to a very wonderful woman, Thelma. People don't know that her name is
Really?
Thelma. Thelma Kukua Ampadu. But since we married, with the name changed to Kukua Toffey.
Wow.
So I think most people say Auntie Kukua, but her original name was Thelma Kukua Ampadu. She is from Kwau. So a Kwau woman married to an Nzema.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm so proud to be an Nzema because the first president of Ghana
is from
my area.
Big honor.
Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah. We married. We have 3 children: Eunice, our first daughter; Danny, second born; and Joshua. By the grace and mercies of God, we did a little schooling, and I'm a pharmacist by profession currently.
Wow!
So that's the little that I can say about me, and I live at Pataskala in Ohio. Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Right. So can we find out what is your favorite Bible verse?
Oh, I have it here, and I want to quote it so at least you will know. It's Romans 5:8. It says, "But God demonstrates His love, His own love for us, in this: while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." There's one thing even sometimes when you man the stage and you preach and I call you the grace man. It has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with my wonderful pastor Nana Yeboah, but it's all about Christ.
Amen.
We fell short of the glory, but Christ died for us. So it's a powerful scripture that I love so much. Romans 5:8. Yeah.
Wow.
It's because of Christ that I'm still alive.
Wow.
It's because of Christ that I'm still in the church. Today we heard about the invisible church. The visible church.
That's right.
Christ has translated me from the power of darkness into the invisible church. And my name has been written in the book of what? Of life, because of what He did on the cross.
Wow.
Amen.
Wow. Thank you so much.
We
have people watching us. We have our own pastor, our dear pastor. He says, "My elders, more fire possessing the nation." Reverend Anayabua, God bless you so much.
Papa.
And we have Apostle Peter Joe Under. Hey, this man can preach on that. Last week he taught us some things. Some powerful things. Apostle, God bless you. He says, "I'm watching this in British Columbia." Wow. And he says, "God bless you, Doc." And then we have our elder Noah Jima, wonderful counselor. He's watching us. He says, "Hey, Thelma, now I know." Wow. So people are watching us all over. People are watching us all over. We are so privileged to have our elder, and he's a big-time pharmacist. Can you tell us about Toffey Pharmacy and the whole business that you do?
Oh, okay. In the U.S., we registered the company, the parent company, as Toffey Healthcare Services. Initially, my wife, who is a registered nurse, had wanted to do a home health agency. So she came up with the idea. So we registered the company as Toffey Healthcare Services. We were going to do transport for senior citizens that would need transportation to their doctor's offices. But after careful consideration and prayer, the decision came for me to go to Ghana to set up a pharmacy. And I thank God that Danoa is on the line, because
he's watching.
The first pharmacy that we opened in Accra, Taifa, Toffey Pharmacy, and Danoa was the person that came to pray.
Wow.
For us to start the whole operation. I still have all the images. I still remember his advice to the staff over there. So now I have a pharmacy in Ghana, Accra, Taifa, Toffey Pharmacy. And then by virtue of coming from the western region, because of the Ghana gas, there are a lot of foreigners that have been moving to the area. So we decided to go to a small village called Ekwe, where we have the district hospital being operated by nurses from the Catholic Church from Finland. So I decided to set a pharmacy directly across from that hospital. And by the grace of God, the hospital is doing very well. But just for the fact that the family were here, I decided to come back, and I was influenced by two friends. I have to call their names out because they've been very instrumental. Mr. Fosu, Kofi Fosu, who owns Heartland Pharmacy on Cleveland Avenue, and Mr. Eric, who owns a Royal Pharmacy on Hamilton Road. They just told me, hey, Uncle Dan, you are such a good person with a big heart. This is what we've been doing. God is blessing us. Why don't you consider doing something like that? I told them my focus was in Ghana. So sometimes I'll come on vacation, fill in for them for 2 weeks so they can go on vacation. So when my wife decided to call me that, hey, I need you back here, I said, okay. When I came, I talked to them and they said, no, we have all the stuff that you need. So we prayed for about 2 weeks, and God dropped that little thing. So we found a place as a doctor's office on 881 East Main.
Okay. On the east side?
On the east side.
Okay.
And then we started with Global RS Pharmacy. About a year and a half, the Lord opened another avenue. We found a place on 161, 1959, East Dublin Granville Road, and we set a new one on the Golden RS Pharmacy. But the reason that we switched the name was there's a company at North Carolina that said I'm infringing on his trade name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I talked to an attorney or my lawyer. He did a few research and said, hey, we don't have a case. So two things. Either you come up with a new name or you take down your website. So if you go to globalrx.com, you won't find it. I have to take down the website so I can keep the name and practice pharmacy in Ohio. So when God directed us and we got a new place, we came up with a new name.
Wow.
So Toffey Healthcare Services is the parent company name, doing business as Global RX Pharmacy at the east side and Golden RX Pharmacy at the north side.
Wow.
So right now we have 2 branches.
Wow.
And we are even trusting God and expecting God that more branches will come up.
I know there are going to be more branches.
Oh, God bless you.
I would know there are going to
God
be.
bless you.
And then you guys also offer special services like delivery.
Yes.
How is that? So when I call in and I make my order, you guys are going to bring it to me at home?
Yes, please.
I don't even have to come there.
You don't have to.
Seriously?
Yes.
All over the phone?
All over. You know, I worked for Walgreens for 17 years. I know what that giant company, CVS, and all other companies can do. But one of the things that they are lacking is the free delivery.
Yeah, it's a serious one.
Okay, especially during the cold weather.
Yeah.
And we're dealing for chronic medications. We're dealing with senior citizens. They don't even drive.
Right.
They will probably send somebody to come and pick it up. So if I will bring it to their home, if I will bring it to their offices, I think it's something that they will cherish.
Yeah.
Quite recently, Amazon came up with Pill Pack. They wanted to adopt the same system and do the same thing, and some of the big companies were just panicking because Amazon is big, you know. So it's a service that we provide that most people really love it.
Wow!
So that is one thing that we do that set us apart from all the super giant companies.
Yeah, this is different.
Yes.
This is a serious innovation. And so now that I want to switch for my regular pharmacist, how do I do that?
Okay, all you have to do is call us. Our pharmacist will take your information, will call the competitor pharmacy, and transfer it.
So easy.
So easy. Now, with the northern side that we have our website active, you can go and GoldenRx, Ohio.com. Golden RX Ohio. We decided to include Ohio so nobody can come up and say we are using their name. This is Golden RX
Ohio.
Doing pharmacy in Ohio.com.
Yes, sir.
There's a section that says transfer prescription. When you click on that little button, okay, you will get a screen that will ask you for your name, your address, your insurance, the pharmacy, that you want us to transfer from, their phone number, and submit that online application, and we'll take care of that. What I want you to know is that that site is secured, so your information will not go out there, not under Google or any other third party. It's restricted just to Golden RS Pharmacy.
Oh, okay.
Because of the HIPAA rules, we try to abide within that specific rules that your information cannot get to any third party. So it's only restricted
so you
to...
are safe.
Yeah, you are safe.
Because in these days, people are getting into a lot of trouble.
But you are safe.
Yeah.
Very well secure site.
Oh, okay. So the site is so good. Can you order something online?
You can.
Really?
You can.
So my prescription, I don't have to really even call. I can just go on.
You can go online, Golden RX, Ohio.com, and then submit what you want us to do for you, and we'll do that safely for you, please.
Wow. Rhoda Tufo Ameniampon says, we are watching. Oh, God bless you.
Amen.
And Noah again says, with God, all things are possible.
Hallelujah.
Praise God for increase. Elder Vincent Parry, a very great man from Adesade College, my senior. He says, good job. Okay, and we have a lot of people watching us. Yeah, tonight we are so blessed to have our former presiding elder at Columbus COP, and he's doing a wonderful job here in Columbus. And I mean, his pharmacy is an innovation whereby, because most people, if they have this convenience, why not? He doesn't have to drive and come and pick his drugs. It's brought to him at home. So please, I mean, it's so easy. We have already given the information. Later on, we will put it under the screen on Facebook. So if you have any questions on that, you can also send it to us. Oh, yeah. So now, when we talk about drug abuse, what is drug abuse?
It's
broad, right?
Elder, I'm glad that you're asking this question. In simple terms, it's the habitual taking of addictive or illegal drugs. Drug abuse. Put simply, the habitual, taking of addictive or illegal drugs. And I tried to put some statistics together, but because of time, it's something that is killing or breaking a lot of families in the U.S. Just in the state of Ohio alone. And I was just putting some statistics together, and I realized that Ohio is among the top 5.
Top 5?
Top 5.
This is serious?
Yes, states. That drug abuse.
Hey.
I'm telling you, drug abuse, is killing a lot of people. Before they used to think about it as just an abuse, but now they have come up with a new classification that is a disease. Drug abuse is a disease in the U.S. Even as we have diabetes, even as we have hypertension, we have depression. Drug abuse is now considered a disease because a lot of people are being affected by this disease. And it's not limited just to a class of people. It affects
all classes.
Blacks, white, all races, all cultures. It's very, very serious and dangerous. So it's something that I would really love for us to, to talk about it. And it's so sad that you may even think that, non-Christians are the ones that are being affected. But surprisingly, you can even go to some Christian homes, and this disease is prevailing.
So what happens? Is it that people just want to be high, or why do people get into it in the first place?
Because look, it's just like alcoholism. The first step is let me just take a glass of wine, for dinner. And once you take it, there's some euphoric type of feeling. You can eat your dinner, all right. Then the next day, let me take 2 glasses. The high will even increase. the next day you may take 2 glasses and you don't feel anything. So let me take 3 glasses. The high or that feeling might increase. Then it comes to a point of time that if you don't even take it, you can't function. So people become so dependent on that. Because when they take it, it makes them feel really, really good. It's such a sad story. But there was a time a sister had an accident, and she was admitted at the hospital. So my wife and I, African American, we decided to go and visit her. So when we went there, we just prayed with her. We talked to her to see how she's doing. She said, "Elder, I'm doing okay, but guess what? I love my Dilaudid." I said, "What is Dilaudid?" She said, "Oh, it's a type of pain medication, but I don't want the pills. I want the one that they put in my vein."
Wow.
And I said, "Why?" "Because, Elder, when they shoot it," and that's the expression that she used, "when they shoot it, I feel so good."
People want.
Yeah, she feels so good. Yeah, I know. I was like, "Seriously? So are you using it for pain?" He said, "Yeah, it helps with my pain, but at the same time, I feel so good." So before we let say, "But I love Mama Kukwa Shito." I love Mama Kukwa. Anyway, so it's something that is really affecting a lot of families, and something that must be addressed to. Now we have the National Institute on Drug Abuse, that the government and the bodies have set up this institute that they're looking into research and see how best they can help people. Because look, most lives are being taken, most lives are being wasted because of this. Like in the state of Haida, like I'm saying, there's something called heroin that is killing a lot of youth. When you go to Chillicothe, Jackson, those areas, like a lot of lives are being lost just because of that. It is something that is killing. Yet people love, to do it because they have become so dependent on it. Edda, it's so sad. They have become so dependent on it that they can't quit, doing it. But one thing, as we addressing this issue, that I want probably to encourage all the listeners is that if for some reason you see a youth, even in your church, misbehaving, or the attitude, his behavior has changed, especially with the culture that we're coming from. Sometimes we love to scream. We love to talk ill about them. It's a disease. I don't think anybody listening to me will talk about the fact that somebody has developed diabetes. Okay, if you develop diabetes, which is a condition that affects the way your blood sugar is regulated, we seek help to take some medication to help control it. Yeah, we are Christians. We believe in divine touch and healing. Nevertheless, God has also given some people the wisdom even to come up and find out what diabetes is all about. Okay, so I will entreat that we draw closer to the younger ones that are being affected, even the older ones that are being affected. We need to show them love. We need to draw closer to them. So instead of talking ill about them, Edda, we have to show them love. Okay, we have to open up to them, listen to them. And Noah is a counselor.
Right.
I will encourage that if your child is going through some of these challenges, call Elder Noah, call Pastor Nanaya Boa. He's available Tuesdays and Thursday at the office. He can approach them, talk to them, pray with them, and maybe come up with some resource personnel that can probably help them to come out of this addiction. It's a disease. So if we take the time to treat high blood pressure, we take the time to treat high cholesterol, we have to take the time to treat drug addiction and drug abuse. It's a disease. It's a condition.
And sometimes we are not even aware.
We are not aware. So, That is why I'm talking so much, but I'm
no,
glad that I'm here. Mm-hmm. It's a disease. We can't just say, "Oh, look at Danny, my son." You know, this boy used to sing at church. Now he has changed.
He's watching you.
Yes.
Yeah, he's watching.
He has changed. Look at what he's doing. No, I just have to approach this young man and say, "Hey, Danny, I've realized that your attitude has changed. Mm-hmm. You don't shower these days. When you wake up, you don't even brush your teeth, and you go into the kitchen to eat. You don't feel like doing anything."
As an example.
No, it's an example. God should forbid. He's a minister of the gospel, right. Gospel song. You know, these days you slacking. You don't even wash your clothes. What is going on, son? Oh, that you know. Okay, then I can work with him and find out what is going on. I will pray with him first.
That's right.
I will talk to my pastor that, hey, the boy is slacking. Papa, can you help me in this areas? But at the same time, if I find out that what he's doing is what is causing him to slack, mm-hmm. then I have to find some help. There are so many resource people, you know, that we can talk to that can help him, even as we trust in God to touch him and transform him. But it's a disease.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
it's a very terrible condition.
For those who just joined us, this is Holyhills Radio. This is your super duper radio station where we are making impact for Jesus. Tonight we are blessed to have a senior pharmacist here, other Dr. Dan Toffey here, and we are talking about drug abuse, we are talking about grace, we are talking about how far God has brought him. Later on, I'll be asking him questions about his special story, grace story, because once you are here, you have to tell us a grace story.
No problem.
Something God did for you. And people are watching. Danny Toffey is watching. The only man from Taifa. He comes from Ghana and he comes from Taifa. Yeah, so we are so blessed to have him. And also, if I'm having, let's say, a headache, and I have, let's say, painkillers over there, do I need a pharmacist to prescribe it before I take it? I know those big things that you're talking about starts little, and then it climbs up into addiction.
Okay. If you're having a headache, mm-hmm. there are some over-the-counter remedies,
okay, you
know, that you can use to help relieve the headache.
I don't need any approval.
You don't need approval.
Okay.
However, mm-hmm. It wouldn't hurt for you to ask a pharmacist, you know, would you have prescription drugs? Would you have over-the-counter, something like Tylenol? It's common. The other name is paracetamol. Mm-hmm. When you go to Ghana, we call it Panadol and all that. So different names that might help to relieve, the headache. We have something called Aleve, ibuprofen. They are all NSAIDs. They can help to relieve pain and headache. Mm-hmm. So going to a pharmacy to pick a bottle, probably ask the pharmacist that, I've been having some headache, will not be a bad thing to do. Now, if the headache persists after taking a couple of doses, a day or 2, 3, then my recommendation is for you to seek medical attention. Mm-hmm. We have tension headache, and then we have migraines. I don't have to go to the etiology, the causes of it. Mm-hmm. There are multi-factors that can cause those. We can talk to our wonderful nurse practitioner, Nana Equia. I'll prefer that you may probably set up an appointment and come and talk to her. Mm-hmm. Or if you have a regular physician that you normally go to, you will set an appointment for them. They can run some tests. They can do some scan to find out the underlying causes. Mm-hmm. If it's just a regular, maybe I'm so tired, I've been thinking too much, I've been studying too much, and I have those headaches, then maybe Tylenol, ibuprofen, if you are not allergic to, mm-hmm. Will help. But if there's something going on beside what I'm talking about, then the best thing is for you to seek a medical attention. So taking over-the-counter medications is not bad, but I would suggest that at least you talk to a healthcare professional to be safe. to be safe. Yeah.
Because in the process, you might even end up getting addicted to it if it's becoming constant.
Well, when it comes to some of the over-the-counter medications like Tylenol and Aleve, they are not so addictive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are not so addictive. When it comes to the opioids, those are the ones that, they are pain medications. Pain medications has been classified. We have one that is called Schedule 2. Those are the opioids. We have like Percocet, which is oxycodone and acetaminophen.
Okay.
Then we can have just oxycodone by itself. We have the morphine group. We have the hydrocodone, which is Norco. It's hydrocodone and Tylenol together. Those can be very addictive. We even have something called tramadol. In Ghana, they call it Tramol.
Oh, okay.
It's killing. The same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Now it's killing a lot of youth back home because they use the tramadol, grind it, add certain things to it, make some cocktail, and when they take it, they become so high.
And they are happy.
They are happy. So now, without prescription, you know how sometimes you can go to the pharmacy in Ghana and buy stuff. Now they've come up with they are trying. I don't think every city is doing it, but without a prescription that they don't sell it. So there are some medications that are so addictive. By just plain Tylenol, ibuprofen and Aleve and all those OTCs are not that addictive, yeah.
Oh, okay. That Noah said Marion. I think we were saying something, and then so he said Marion, but later on I'll find out.
Okay.
So, Ada, if I'm not able to sleep well and I decide to take drugs, is that okay?
It's okay, because as a matter of fact, we expect that. Not we expect, but the literature supports that at least every normal human being should have at least 8 hours of sleep, or even more.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Because it helps with the general physiological aspects. Yeah. So if for some reason you are not sleeping too well, my first recommendation would be for you to assess and find out what is causing you not to sleep well. Typically, I take a cup of coffee every day if I'm not fasting. Okay, I've done it to the extent that if I don't take it, I get headaches.
If you don't take the coffee?
I don't take a glass of coffee in the morning, I get headaches.
But coffee is addictive too.
It is. So, but not to the extent of
being high
or anything. You see, because sometimes when I take the glass of coffee, and I don't even eat breakfast, which is not a good thing. Not eating breakfast, I can go through the whole day. It's not good. So I want my listeners not to adopt this type of behavior. But for some strange reason, I take coffee. Even Eda Coffee was saying that coffee is linked to cigarette smokers. That's why he doesn't take coffee. And I told my elder that I don't smoke. And I will never smoke. But once I take it, it kind of keeps me going. It gives me a little energy. It makes my day flows very well. So and then when you see some of the headache medications, you will see caffeine in there. They will add Tylenol, a little caffeine, and some aspirin, and they make it Excedrin. Or they will put Tylenol, a little caffeine, and they call it headache medication. Yeah. So then let's come back to your question. There are some sleep aids. If occasionally, maybe you're traveling, you went to Ghana, or maybe you traveled, you're doing some work, you couldn't sleep, and you want to take like a Aleve PM. The PM is something that will help you sleep. We have Aleve PM, we have Tylenol PM, and it's just a one-time thing. It's not bad. It will help you to relax. It will help you to sleep well. But if it's becoming chronic, then I would suggest that you seek medical attention. We have a normal hormone called melatonin. Okay, it helps with the sleep cycle. So maybe if there are some disruption with that melatonin in your system, it comes at a tablet. We have 2 milligrams, 3 milligrams, 4 milligrams, 5 milligrams. So you can probably talk to the doctor and get the OTC melatonin and see if that will help with the chemical imbalances.
Okay.
That will help. If you try some of those OTC remedies and it's still not working, then I want you to seek medical help. When I was talking about the coffee thing, coffee can keep you awake.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can avoid it, that would be helpful. Or try not to drink coffee during the evenings.
Mm-hmm.
That will help. There are some medications that we take to help with the cold, pseudoephedrine. It makes some people jittery, and that can interrupt with your sleeping pattern. So if you take it late at night, that can keep you awake. So you just have to find out the underlying factors, things that maybe when you do, keeps you awake, and try to avoid it. If you do all those things and you're still having difficulty sleeping, then I would suggest that you seek a medical attention. We do have sleep aids. The thing is that when you become so dependent on it, then you might probably have to depend on it for the rest of your life. So it's something that I may not encourage. So there are some best practices, things that you can do that can help you to fall asleep. Some people will say that maybe just ordinary walking exercises, 30 minutes, 1 hour, things like that. You shower before you go to sleep. It can help you, to sleep and things like that. So that is my suggestion.
Wow. Every drug has a side effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do we need to avoid drugs in that case?
We have something called risk to benefits ratio.
Okay.
Let me start with some of the real dangerous drugs. For instance, somebody has a cancer that has been detected. All cancer drugs are designed to target the cancer cells, to kill them or to destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, as they are destroying and killing the cancer cells, they also affect the good cells around the cancer. Okay? So at times, most physicians will look at what you are going through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Should I leave Dr. Toffey to die peacefully? Or should I give Dr. Toffey a drug to help with the prostate cancer? God should forbid, though. Yes, but they will let you know, Elder, this drug that we are going to give to you is going to target the cancer cells, to shrink the prostate, but at the same time, it might affect those cells around it.
Mm-hmm.
So your urination might be jeopardized. But when we look at the literature, we realize that the cancer cells will be targeted more than the good cells. So it's okay for you to take the drug. Yeah. So they look at all those, But every medication that we take in is considered a foreign body.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're adding something into the body, that is not the way God designed it. Of course, it will have some type of side effects.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the general aspect of the whole thing, you realize that the benefits of the medication outweighs the little side effects that you might have. And for each medication to come on the market, it may take 10 or 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Yes. For every medication that we see out there, it has to go through some animal trials. They may use some rats to test it on them. Okay? Is it affecting the specific condition that we want it to affect? Okay? Now, how many rats died from giving them this medication? oh, out of 100 rats, only one rat died out of this. So I think,
it's not that bad.
it's not that bad. And then we realized that out of the 100 rats, the specific condition that we want to target, about 85, got a positive result. Then they will do a sample of human trials. They will try the medication on human beings. Okay? They realize that even if we use a small sample of 5, none of the 5 people died. But the condition that we are trying to target, we had a very positive effect. Then they will do a randomized clinical trial that they will use a good sample of patients that have the condition and patients that probably don't even have the condition.
Okay.
And they will try them on the medications. Now, out of 1,000 people that have the condition and we give the medication to them, maybe about only one person had a bald head. The 99 had a very successful, results. Then they will present the results and the application to the Food and Drug Board. The Food and Drug Board will sit on it. They will do a test to find out the efficacious of, the medications. Okay, before even they approve it for it to be marketed. And then we have something called post-marketing surveillance. Okay. So let's say I come up with this medication to target high blood pressure. Well, with all my clinical trials and everything and all the research and the test, the Food and Drug Board said, okay, I think it's a medication with a lot of promises. So let's just approve it. Now, after 1 year that I've been marketing this medication, let's say if somebody takes it and they have some side effects, they have to report it. So maybe I sold about the medication, it was sold to maybe 1 million people, and maybe only 2 people reported of some serious, side effects. They will keep it on the market. But let's say if 1 million people and maybe half of the population complain of some serious side effects, FDA will look at it and they will recall it. Okay. So sometimes some medications that are being marketed are recalled because of the serious side effects that they have. There's a medication very good for arthritis pain called Vioxx. And there is one, it's an NSAID. There's one called Bextra. Those medications were recalled. There's one called Celebrex. It's still on the market. But they want the doctors to make the decision. Because those medications, aside from helping with the serious pain, was also causing some heart problems. So only Celebrex is left on the market. It's a COX-2 inhibitor. And what they are saying is that, okay, the doctor will have to make the decision. Do you think your patient needs this? What are their benefits to side effects ratio? And most physicians will discuss it with you that this medication works great, but there's the likelihood that you may have this effect. So if you observe anything that is out of the ordinary, report it to us. Yeah. So every medication has some side effects. However, not all side effects, are detrimental. Most antibiotics will kill the disease, the bacteria, but some of it will cause you to go to the bathroom, quote unquote, a little bit. Okay, so maybe if you are routine to go to the bathroom once a day, and maybe if you're going twice a day, and the bacteria is being killed, I don't think it's that bad. Okay, at times they will say take it with food, because if you take it with an empty stomach, it may upset your stomach a little bit. Those are not that serious. What we are talking about is anaphylaxis. Maybe you take the medication, you break up in rash, you can't breathe. Those are really serious. So, Elder, most medications come with some side effects. But it's not all side effects that we can say we're doing away, we're doing away with the medication. Yeah. And then something that I might take that will not have any effect on me. You might take it and might have some effect on you. So if it's not something life-threatening, most of the times we try to overlook it. There's a very good medication that can help regulate cholesterol, niacin. When most people take it, they come out with flash. They become so red, especially with the Caucasian and things like that. So they will say, okay, take aspirin before you take the medication, because the aspirin will counteract with it. If the doctor thinks that is something that you really, really, need. Yeah. But every medication has some side effects. And also I want my listeners to know, if you read the package insert, and you see all those little things that I've been writing, you might not take any medication.
Right.
You will not.
Yeah, you don't have to read
You will not, yeah. You will not. But as long as it has been approved by the Food and Drug Board, it's pretty much safe, to take it. And then I also encourage you, if you take any medication and you observe anything that doesn't seem normal, you can call your pharmacist or you can notify your doctor. Because the side effects profile that has been written in the packaging said you might not even have any of those, but you might write to it differently.
Wow.
Yeah.
And one quick question. So what do you think about home remedy, and like Ghana, they will see a baby Drew and those kind of stuff? Do you really try?
I personally have a problem with that. The reason being that one medication can be marketed for it to cure multiple diseases. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I was trying to do when I went to Ghana, I went to the food, the FDA, Ghana Food and Drug Board. It's about pain medication. We are still using old-time remedies, morphine, which can suppress our respiratory system. There are some women that will go through cesarean section, and they give them only tramadol. So and I think Africa, we can handle pain better than here. So I was trying to see if I can work with the Food and Drug Board and come up with some better pain remedies, but my contract didn't go through. I have a problem. Abibidru, I will not put Abibidru down per se, but the thing that really bothers me is it hasn't been tested. There's no literature to support it. It hasn't been proven. Now, even when it comes to orthodox medicine that we're using, they all come from herbs and things like that. But like I said, they will start with the animal trial before they even try it on humans. Okay? If it causes a lot of harm, because there are some people that are dying regardless, they are dying. If they try it, a majority of them gets recovered, then they know the medication is safe. I mean, it's efficacious.
Right.
Okay? Now, out of the 1,000 people that were dying, did the medicine cause any other detrimental harm? Okay? But in our case, it's not tested.
Right.
And sometimes it's out of greed.
Somebody just put something
together.
He doesn't care.
And my fellow Chinese, don't get me wrong, but now the Chinese are killing Africans because they can design anything. Now, anything that is coming to the U.S., right? Standard Board will check it. Food and Drug Board will test it. They are not going to accept anything. But in our case, I mean, my listeners, forgive me, but that is the honest truth. Okay? I can just come to Mr. Pinto, who is the head of the Food and Drug Board, and say, hey, I have a good product. Okay? 50-50. If you can help me for this product to come out, any margin that I get, I give you 50%. Okay, Mr. Pinto will say, hey, we need a written, documented proof about it. I will just go and design something and give it to him, and the boss will sign it off because he has 50% share in that. Care. They don't care. And then they'll just push it through. And people are dying. The problem that I have is that it's not tested. It's not proven. No, right now, if you go to Ghana, there are a lot of kidney failures going on because of some of these products. Because of some of these.
It can cause kidney.
It can, most of them, because, the kidney is very sensitive. The liver, those are the two pathways that most medications got broken down. So if it's very hard on the kidney, and at times there are some people that their kidney has already been compromised. We have something, you don't have to know all this, called creatinine clearance and blood urea nitrogen or something, BUN. There are some ratios that they will do a test to see. So if those are limited, so if my kidney is functioning okay, and I have to swallow this whole pen, it's okay. If for some reason Mr. Pinto's kidney is half functioning, he probably have to take 1/3 of the pen.
Right.
But in Ghana, it's not even done. I can take a whole pen and live okay. But when Mr. Pinto, whose kidney is only 1/3 functioning, takes the whole pen, that can even shut his kidney down. Wow. And then we attribute it to some old lady,
some demonic activity.
Yeah, who cooked for him. So I have some problem. We have to. There should be some caution.
Right.
When we're taking all those herbal, remedies, and then back home to it's just like, oh, men are not fire though. No hot on. But men are not physiologically. Is different from me physiology. Right. I'm not going to condemn it completely, but I say
it's more of try and error.
That's the whole thing.
Unlike
but the way it's being marketed is what I listen to Adom FM a lot. There's a drink called I've forgotten the name. The way they would talk about it, it's like. If you drink it,
you are done.
You are done. And people will call and testify that when I took this drink, before I'm not sleeping well, I can sleep all night. I got the energy to work. Even there's a drink called, it's an energy drink. Over here there's a caution, the label, that can cause this.
Right.
And they ship it. Some energy drink. And Ghana is like a fashion. If you have the money to buy that drink, it means you are one of the top guys. And Ghana, yes.
It looks like they take in everything.
Everything.
Even for sexual performance.
Look, and even that is worse because okay, for male enhancers, okay, as we are aging,
right.
Honestly, as we are aging, the way I used to perform, I'm over 50. Okay, I can say it. I'm over 50. People are listening. It's okay. I'm in the medical field, so let me say. Okay, when I was like 20 and 25,
your performance was
then we got married. My performance was excellent. Even now, it's great. But as I'm getting to my 60s, 70s,
right.
I can keep pushing and pushing. You know what I'm saying? So maybe when you get even to your 70s and you want to honor that marriage bed thing, hey, there's nothing wrong. So maybe I say, hey, Danny, can you get me one Viagra? There's nothing wrong with that. But you see a 19-year-old. I was in Ghana at the pharmacy. And some 19-year-old came. Some Chinese has come up with some male enhancers. It was a Friday night. And this guy wanted. I didn't sell it.
Really?
I didn't. I refused to sell it. I refused to sell it. I refused to sell it. I just look at him and say, bro, how old are you? Oh, I'm 19. I said, no, you don't need this. Oh, uncle, you know, I said, no. I'm sorry, I won't sell it. It's not about the money. I won't sell it.
Right. It's going to affect him.
And then consciously, I can't be that evil. I'm not helping you.
Right.
So if you start taking all those things at 19, then by the time you get 30, but people think that if they take it, they will have the power and they will have the energy. No, it's
just to impress
them. No. Yeah. It's wrong. It's wrong. So the question that you asked, we have to be a little bit, careful, and how we choose some of these things, because one medication, even surprisingly, somebody came up with a wristband, that when you put it on, your blood pressure will go down. Your meal something, a wristband. So I asked the guy that was selling it, I said, I need a little proof of, and people are buying it too.
Right, people are easily convinced.
People are buying it. I tried to think about it. What is the correlation? Because blood pressure, there is no actual etiology of it, but it can be volume overload, as your volume, whatever fluid in the system, can cause it. We don't really know the exact cause, of it. So some people, you see them having swelling and things like that. They'll give them some water pill to get some of the fluid, fluid out. There are some instances, somebody is even having fluid overload. When they go to the hospital, they will put IV fluid on them, because the idea is that even worsening the case.
Wow.
Worsening the case. So I'm sorry to say all this, but I say right. And because a lot of people say for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Gospel. But that principle applies to, So this question is debatable, and I wish my listeners forgive me if you've tried some herbal product and it worked for you. Right. I'm not condemning it, but it might be helping in one area, but it might be affecting another area that you don't know. So we have to be a little bit careful and cautious when we're choosing those type of of remedies. I trust and I believe in my senior parents, like my great grandfathers, which at that time there wasn't any orthodox medicine. They use some remedies that help, but at the same time we don't know all the other side effects that it might cause. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we are just about to wrap up,
okay.
And another time you will do part 2.
Okay.
Because I have so many other questions, but because of our time.
Okay.
Do you have any short testimony to share with us?
Oh, Elder, I just want to say that God has been good.
Amen.
Quite recently I invited Reverend Anaya Boa to come to our second location to pray with us. As a matter of fact, during the Easter convention, when our national head was here, out of respect and reverence, and I know they all have some apostolic, unction on them. I pleaded with my papa, and he said, "Oh, we will come." They came to pray with me. What I want to share, my old place was a pharmacy, and the person closed. There was a pharmacy where I started. The person closed. Even when I saw the place, I have to talk to some of my senior folks. And out of good heart, it wasn't like they don't want me to do what I intend to do, but out of good heart. Then think twice. Somebody was there and they closed. So why do you want to go there? So I listened. And then when I went home, I told my wife. And she said, okay, thanks for the counsel and the advice, but you know what, let's pray about it. So we decided to set 3 days apart. Elder, we prayed. And there was a strong conviction. that we should go for it. So I went back to my mentors, and I said, we're going for it. And then we started. And I said it to the glory of God. It has nothing. I told my wife about a week ago that all I had was the pharmacy certificate or degree. Okay? But I want to give glory to the Almighty God. Because, Mr. Pinto, Elder, all I had is the pharmacy license. I mean, when we started, Mr. Pinto can testify, there were a few struggles. I will call him. He said, Elder, it shall be well. I'll call Reverend Ananisafo, now Apostle Ananisafo. He's been a blessing to me. I worked with him. I worked under him as a presiding elder, and I have followed him till now. He said, Elder, obey you to put it in the right words. Okay? Within a year and a half, hey, we're able to meet our expenses and here and there. You know, but because of the way the place is, it's kind of hidden. But what God has been doing, it's at a doctor's office though, so we take advantage of the clients that come there. But what God has done, I won't give that credit to myself, but I will give it, to the Lord. Then the other one that I want to add is, when I was at Tech, that is when my dad passed away. So when he passed away, after the funeral, I called my mom and my big brother that I helped him to come here, that I want to travel. And he was laughing at me. But my mom asked me, where do you want to go? I said, America. I don't even know where America was located on the map. I just thought of me that I want to go to America. So my big brother was laughing. So I went to the Ivory Coast to my uncle because things was really rough. But before I went there, so I went there with the gospel. As a matter of fact, the former national head, Apostle Sidiki, and I were called as deacons together by former IMD Apostle Atta, who is gone to glory, and Reverend Bonnie. Reverend Bonnie too is gone. They called the two of us and prayed for us as deacons. And I was 7. So be niyama pa niyama isise no e chemia. Let it know your breath for. It's a testimony. So when I got a chance to come here, I told my uncle, and he would not even take their 10. So I prayed that say Ghana for the Hebraean once. Then one day I got the courage. I went to my aunt. I said, Auntie, I want to travel. Say, so you have all these plans and all this time you didn't even tell me. Don't worry, I'll talk to your uncle. I said, okay. Sunday after church, then he called me and said, hey, I want you to go and see me off at a place. I said, okay. We sat in the car. We drove from Bassam to Abidjan. Then my uncle opened his heart. He told me all his secrets, everything, how much he's worth, and everything. And said, okay, I'm going to the gentleman that is organizing the program. I didn't even know. So I said, okay. We went. And then he said, okay. He saw the gentleman. He said, oh, don't worry. If you do this, I will do this, this. Then he said it in French, comme la main à droite lave la gauche.
Bon. Bon.
As the right hand washes the left hand, so the left hand washes the right hand. That was in French. I said, okay. And then he kind of helped me, to come over here. So it's the Lord. And then when I got here too, I went to, I was sleeping at somebody's living room. I'm the last person to sleep and the first person to get up. So one day they were going for some adoring, and I said, okay, Uncle, can I go with you? He said, oh, okay. Then we went. And as we were sitting there, they were drinking, they were doing all kinds of things. Some lady walking, Auntie Susie. As soon as the lady walked in, there was like, hey, so far about Timunja and Sana Monomno. Now, so hallelujah.
He didn't even know you.
They don't know. Not me, but the lady.
Oh, okay.
So I said within me, hallelujah. So when the lady, or crash or kono, and I'm paid in I said, madam, when you walk in, they said, you are suffer. I'm also a pastor. Even though I wasn't a pastor, though, I'm a pastor. But I need a place to fellowship. So can you pick me up to church on Sunday? So, oh, no problem. So on Sunday, she came. That time, a fiance on my Toyota Camry, white one, brand new. Hey, village boy. I just sat at the back. We drove from Virginia to Hyattsville, Maryland. The church was called the Church of the Living God. There was no Pentecost at that time. So the lady took me. During the offertory, I saw Edel Bokwe. I saw Dr. Kujo. He was my classmate. He went to Russia to do medicine. He got sick and came to the U.S. Oh, then I saw most of my classmates. Then I saw, praise God. That's how we started. And then, after service, we talked, oh, framing, check this, da. We supported that church very well until former Apostle Bediako and some elders, Apostle Kusi, gone to glory, came to support us to start the ministry at what? At Maryland. No. So God has done a lot for me because baby I me free pano and to come here no. Adam. So I give it all, to the Lord. And then also to marry a village boy married to a city woman. And from Accra. So God has done a lot for me. You know, Ghana, the Asantes and the Kwawus are mostly the people that. So for me to get Accra woman from Kwawu, hey, it's a blessing. Hallelujah.
We thank God.
We thank God.
I've been so blessed today. I've been so serious. I've been so blessed. People, we've been talking about drug abuse. We've been talking about.
It's a serious disease.
Yeah, so many other things with other Dr. Dan Toffey, and it's been such a wonderful, fantastic time. If you want more information about the pharmacy that he owns, please, you can also get in touch with us at Holyhills Radio, 614-312-2289. The next program is going to be Queen Joyce, the senior presenter herself is here. And of course, my daughter Michelle is also here, so it's going to be a wonderful time. Thank you very much for joining us, Elder. Thank you so much.
Oh, Elder Somuah, thank you. You've been a blessing, and I want to encourage you to do what you're doing and even do it more better.
Amen.
I'm trusting God that one of these days, you will see you on CNN.
Amen. God bless.
God bless you. God bless you so much.